good. About to go full screen. Okay, let's go. Proposal 131. I'm seeing a lot of green roofs. These slightly little bits and pieces here look very thin. I'm not sure if I'm really enjoying how saturated this sort of green is. Maybe I'm just being a little bit picky. I've got a little bit of this kind of autumn-like forest happening here in the courtyard. Next image. Oh, sorry, that was next proposal. Next image. Not gonna read that right now. Early study model, cool model. The building just looks a little bit like I don't know, looks like some type of interpretation of 20th century modernism. But then it just looks a bit. I feel like I've seen like this building in places in like England, and like it looks like it's made out of like white render, but it's probably gonna get quite dirty and wet and wind beaten. It's probably gonna be brown most of the year. So I don't love it. Image 4. Sketch is really nice. Always enjoy a sketch. Nice interior lobby space. References, yeah. Yeah, it's okay. It's fine. Got this kind of vaulted ceiling and then these curved edges. Not really sure what the whole idea is. Image 1, image 2, image 3, it's alright. Image 4, image 5. It needs to be developed more, I think. Moving on to the next one. 132 reads. It's got a bit of a bendy, undulating facade thing happening here. Giant staircase to the roof where there's a green space and then maybe you turn back onto another green space. Like reeds swaying in the wind or the gentle contours of rocky island. Image 2. Nice image. Big stair really seems to be kind of the idea. Big stair. Big stair. A modern functional design for a new architecture and design museum. Diagrams are quite good. Grid alignment. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Curving forms, don't fully understand necessarily. For example, I think like the diagonal view here, this is probably good enough to get going on the project. I'm not quite so sure then. I'm sure there's an argument. I'm sure there's enough weather analysis to suggest that this sort of curved facade here at these points might be beneficial. Maybe I'm giving the project the benefit of the doubt here. It's not really explaining it here in the summary. Image 3. It looks fine. Don't like the stair. Again, generally same issue. I mean, is there a landing here? It looks very steep. Any type of landing. Like the way it just sort of nudges into the corner. But I mean, it doesn't really give much to the facade or the massing either. Like this sort of fall of the stairway or the external stair doesn't really shape the overall building in any way. Maybe there's a little bit of a suggestion of it down here, but it's okay. Image 4, interior. Yeah, nice interior. Again, another big stair. Big stair inside, big stair outside. It's okay. It's okay. I like the light in this image. Image 5, references. It's okay. I don't love it overall. I think the thing that lets this project down really is the giant external stair. I like these diagrams. I particularly like this one. I don't really know if we needed to go to the third one to justify the shape of the building. But that's just me. It looks like the exterior is brick, which is quite cool. This could be really interesting. Big fan of that. I would be interested to see the sort of detailing of these piers and this external facade. Yeah, it's okay. Don't love it overall, but it's not that bad either. Just leaves a little bit. It's the imagination, I guess. 133 wood leaf. Yeah, this is interesting. This sort of looks like two buildings with this like central cluster of translucent objects. Image 2, just text, skipping that. Image 3, nah, it's just a 3D model. That's not really a criticism, it's just the 3D model of this project isn't going to sell the project. And that's it. Like, that's all there is to it. It's just, it's just There are no people here. There is no indication of what any of these spaces are. The front door is not visually legible here at any point. I just see facade materials and openings and not a lot else, to be perfectly honest. And I know that sounds really harsh, but I'm just calling it as I see it. And I would let it's a similar criticism for this image as well. Green roof, whoop, great. Everything has a green roof generally. I don't even know if this is a green roof. I just think this looks, because of it's straight out of the model. It's a roof that happens to be green. Image 4, interior. Could be a really nice interior, but the image quality itself just isn't selling the interior to me. No real indication of atmosphere. Can't really gauge what the vibe would be in here, what the function is. I know it's a lobby, but what makes your project a winner? And that I don't think this presentation can answer that question. Sketches, love sketches. Generally, the diagrams are quite confusing. The color palette just isn't helping me read it at all. Maybe I'm going a little bit colorblind, not sure. So yeah, I'm gonna leave this one here. Not a winner for me. Moving on, 134, Katiska. This is just a sketch. This is kind of cool. Just a big sketch. Image 2, another big sketch. Image 3, big sketch. Another sketch. Another sketch. References. I love that they've just gone with sketches for this. It's really old school. It's like a throwback to the old competitions from like the 60s and the 70s, where you would just kind of superimpose sketches and drawings onto photographs. Like, I love that as a style. But I think what is here actually just isn't that exciting to me. I mean, we have this giant cylindrical ziggurat with this little like flag at the top. I can't really tell what that is. And a plaza and some trees. And then we've got all the different programs and spaces sort of within this giant mass, which is cool. There's a consideration for where the circulation core is and how that works. Just not getting any real sense of what it's made out of and how it feels, similar to the last one in a way. Now, don't get me wrong, I much prefer this presentation to the previous presentation. But at the end of the day, as much as I love sketches, I still need to get a little bit of information, and that's just not really in this. Again, like the sketch is a little bit confusing in terms of scale and perspective. I don't think this is bad at all. I think this could be a good, interesting project. It's just need more detail, personally. So yeah, good effort with the sketches. I'm sure there could be a nice idea here, but I'm gonna have to move on this one. I like the sketches though. Oh, proposal 135, ATO, or AHTO. This looks awesome. Really like the look of this so far. It looks like we've got 4 blocks and a little interior. Maybe I'm reading this wrong. It looks like a little internal opening here. Got these giant monolithic pitched cubes, all going a similar direction. Image 2. Very, very, very clean presentation. I really like this. A little bit of text, nice little interior, stunning concept sketch. These diagrams look quite good. Visitor flow around central lobby, access to museum spaces from central lobby. Facade lengths adapted to context. That's a really nice diagram. Really love that. Waterfront alley, museum square from defining axis. Really like this, to be honest. As a pure diagram as well, it's really interesting. Concept sketch is stunning. This is a really great image. I'm beginning to notice a trend, and maybe this is just it's a me problem. I feel like a lot of projects though that go with the clustered block formation tend to make them really big. They just always look really tall. Now I understand there's program, there's a brief, there's a requirement, there's sight lines. Like I understand that. Every time I look at projects like this, though, I'm like, why is it so tall? But let's see. I mean, I guess it is responding to the roof line of the adjacent buildings. Like it's fine. Good image. Curious how this space works. Love the little thin slice of roof with the little thin opening. That's awesome. Not quite sure where the entrance is. I'm guessing it's here. Entrance is around this corner. Okay, that's cool. Image down here isn't doing a lot for me. Image 4. Beautiful interior of the lobby. Big architecture model in there. Beautiful materials and textures in the image. Love this little joint here. Really great image. Not sure what's happening in here. Not a lot of stuff on display, to be perfectly honest. Curious detail here. Is this supposed to be that the column's thicker than the sort of beam that it's supporting above it? That's really interesting. I like it. Image 5. References. Absolute top tier references. I really like this one. I think I'm gonna have to come back to it. There's a conversation to be had about it, architecturally speaking, but I could also speak about it now from a presentation point of view. And I like to do this with quite a lot of the projects that I really enjoy. So again, just bang, 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 good references, bang again. In other words, this all just sort of feels like it's selling different aspects of the same project, not each page sort of answers questions rather than asks more questions, which I find some of the per projects do, which is really frustrating. So sorry, let me explain again. So we've got the beautiful aerial image. We have a little interior view here. We have the concept sketch. We have the diagrams. There's not too much text. Net floor area, gross floor area, a little bit of a description. Image 3, yeah, really nice exterior. Distance image is good. Image 4, interior. Like, that's it. Like, I mean, I'm sure there's an entire level of how do you say this? I'm sure there is a real uh, I'm sure there's a 1,000 word essay somewhere in this project that the architect would love to share. In that, oh, this is why the roof's pitched this way, and this is why we selected this brick, and we're referencing this building, we're referencing this quality, and so on and so on and so on. But these architects are confident. They don't need to give that to me in 10,000 words here on the second page. Couple of paragraphs explaining the overall idea, and then they're just very confident in their visuals. And I think that's great. I think this is the way to do it. So I just do love a little bit of a minimalist presentation like this. It's great for me, obviously, because it saves me a lot of time. But then, it's great for the jury too. Like, you can make your mind up quite quickly. The first impression matters. So yeah, might not be the best project ever, but I love the presentation. So I think I will come back to this one eventually. So 135, big fan, really like it. Also looks like a project that I'm pretty familiar with, but save that for the comments. Let's go to the next one. 136. A hearth. Okay, we've had a hearth before. I think it was 131 or 132. No, 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 no. No, we've had a hearth. I think it was 31 or 32. I think it was in the 30s. Maybe it was in the 50s. So we've had a hearth before. But I also feel like we've seen this project before. I am convinced I have already seen this project. Image 2. Not seen this interior image. Is this inside the building? I don't know if I like that. There's something about, obviously this feels like a house, like a home. There's a domestic scale to this space that I don't think is appropriate for a building this big. But that's just my opinion. Diagrams. I feel like I've seen these diagrams before too. I have seen something already that looks a bit like this. Image 3. Image 4. Okay, I'm just going to summarize this one quickly. I think this is good, fine work. I think this is a nice project. I feel like I've seen it before. And if I haven't seen it before and I'm being unfair, it just looks fine. Like, it looks okay. But I don't think it's enough to beat out 622 other entries to win. So I'm not going to spend much more time on it. So if you worked on this project, like, I do think well done. Like, it looks good, it looks fine. It's just I've seen a project referencing the horse, and I think it was way better, more exciting. And then I do feel like I've seen projects like this already, and then this image here makes me sort of wonder a little bit about what the big idea is. But you haven't done badly. You've done well. Like, it's good. It's good work. It's just I cannot spend the time looking at it any deeper than this. Nice images though. Nice references. Gonna move on. 137. The universal bowl. But it doesn't look like a bowl. Looks like a skate park on the roof. Image 2. Oh, diagrams are really confusing. A universal bowl for a cycle of creation. Bowl shape is designed to embrace the diversity in one place. Not convinced? What is going on here? Big half moon, like it. I think there's a question about the quality of the design, and then there's a question about the quality of the images. So let's start with the images. I don't think the images are selling the design to me. I think it's things like it's hard to understand what things are made of and how things work. And everything just looks a little bit like it's been sort of stitched together. Like you've got this like weird tiling, you got this shiny metal, and then you've got this wood, you've got these big tall columns, but then you've got this like, is it a lift? Glass column? It is a lift, but then it's not really clear. I guess it's going up here. More diagrams? No. I don't particularly love this one. I think I'm just basing my opinion on sort of the idea that what you see is what you get. So what we have gotten here is just a little bit of a mixed bag of ideas. I don't fully know if bowl is the right word to describe it. It does look like it's been considered spatially and from a programmatic point of view, so fair enough. It's really just more about what we have here at the end. Like this just, I don't know if this is that appropriate for most of the year, all of the year, like 365 days a year in Helsinki. Like you just blow off the roof and you get cold and there's snow and it's gonna get wet and slippy. Nah, it's just not selling it to me. That's just me, just my taste. It feels like something that doesn't quite belong in Helsinki. Don't think it's bad work. Just don't think it's a winner. Gonna move on to the next one. 138, the light stack. Ah, this is an interesting first page. The light stack, I do love little diagrams like this. Image 2, aerial view. This is a very nice, looks like a physical model that's been photographed. Not sure. The response is a simple stacking gesture of pure cylinder placed on a low multifaceted base as both a formal and a performative strategy. I have to be honest, I really like this. I love this little curvy little bit. Just sort of slices over here. Just really like this. I love the diagrams too. They're unbelievable. I just love these types of drawings. Image 3. Oh, and that's a stunning little collage. And that's an amazing little model. I think it's a model. More models. Beautiful image. These little diagrams are great. A muted icon. I like that. The project in the context of South Harbour skyline, the purity of a translucent cylinder and a degree of reveal of its internal life. Image 5. City, threshold, people, exhibit, ecology. Okay, this is a little bit of a complicated one to talk about. I think I will absolutely come back and talk about this one more in depth. I think what stands out most of all, a couple of things stand out about this one. I don't know if it has done this, so correct me if I'm wrong. It feels like it's broken the rules a little bit in terms of the structure of the presentation, at least compared to the previous 137 projects. For example, it sort of starts with this beautiful little diagram, and then it goes to the aerial view. But I don't know. I'm not going to get caught up in the details. I'm not the competition police. At the end of the day, good work is good work, and this is good work. I love these diagrams. I love this collage. I love the model. But I think what's really important, and I'm not sure yet, but I think I love the architecture. I love it's very simple, but then it has these little playful gestures in it also. Like the way that certain parts are shaped and positioned just look really nice and exciting to me. But I don't really have the time to go in depth in it, which is what hopefully it makes the shortlist and we can look at it again. Um, Big fan of this project. Always a big fan of physical models. So again, like talking about a piece of architecture that engages the city, um, the people, and the exhibit, which is important in a way because not enough projects really consider that. They care more about having a shiny box and less about the shiny boxes that will be within the shiny box. But I've talked about that plenty. Okay, 138, the light stack. Big fan of your project. I hope to see it again. So well done. Gonna move on to the next one. 139, the sailing walls. Ooh, little foldy origami bendy paper thing here. Looks quite cool. Looks kind of cool. Really nice image. Helsinki with a Y. Not gonna read that. Mm, I do like it when images sort of show the project in adverse weather conditions. And this is quite nice. I do like this. The interior space looks really cool also. And oh, these sketches are beautiful. A celebration of Helsinki's maritime heritage. I do get the reference. I do get it. There's just a sort of parametric quality to what's been presented overall. I think that's the thing that makes me just a little bit, how to say this, it just comes down to a matter of personal taste. I think projects like this are really cool. They often, the built reality is now often is not as exciting, unless you got a big fat stinking budget, which maybe this project will have. Who knows? I mean, it is nice. Like I understand there is a real nice reference to the maritime heritage of the harbor. It's not the greatest image, but it doesn't mean the model's not. I mean, what is this? Is this a big thick wall? Mm, some plans and diagrams would be nice. Okay, I like this. I do like this. It just might not generally be my taste, but that's okay. So 139, the sailing walls. I think I like this quite a lot. Beautiful sketches. Beautiful reference image here. Interior looks interesting. Exterior though, this feels a little bit more like a, I don't know, like a research lab in Antarctica or something. And I know the weather's making me think that. It just has that kind of form factor. Doesn't quite look like a museum. I mean, I know these things are quite grand. It's very excessive to have so much material here for something that ultimately it's just a wall, isn't it? With nothing on either side. Interesting though. Yeah, I think it's cool. It's cool. Yep. Just trying to remember something here. Yeah, okay. And now I'm finally on the last one here, proposal 140. Oh wait. And now I'm going on to the last one here, proposal 140. Oof. Oof. This guy's a little bit scary. It feels a little bit like this little animal that's too close to the edge, and I'm like worried he's gonna fall in. Image two. Do like the watercolor sketch spilt coffee aesthetic on this image. I mean that sincerely. I'm not being mean. I actually do like this quite a lot. It's cool. A lot of text. Sample. Mm, I think I'm going to have to say I'm not a big fan of this overall. Just looks a bit bare, a bit dull. Like the soffit just is so never ending. And then like it looks a little bit like a piece of infrastructure, like it looks like a ferry terminal or a train station. A little bit like a spaceship as well. Like the world's smallest little roof garden up here for one person. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just, oh, the lobby space. Yeah, it just leaves a lot. It's fine. It's fine. I don't love it overall. I'll be surprised if it makes the shortlist. Not for me. Beautiful little sketch though, and a lot of good work seems to have gone into it, but not for me. Okay, that's another 10. That's another 10. Yep, so I'm gonna get this out as soon as possible. And yeah, let's go. Long way to go yet. Long way to go yet. So you know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Let's chat about these in the comments. Let me know where I've got it wrong. Let me know where I've got it right. All the best. Talk soon.